Remain focus. Yep. Assalamu alaikum guys, Bilal Sayeed here. Welcome back to yet another YouTube video. In today's video, we are going to be discussing what it's like to be a Muslim creative. And I'll be sharing my personal takes on what it feels like, what I deal with on a day-to-day basis, the benefits that we face, the challenges that we face, the good, the bad, the pros, the cons. And inshallah, this will be more of a discussion-based video. So if you do want to make yourself a cup of tea, by all means feel free to. Or if you want to have your dinner watching this video, I highly recommend. I'm sure there'll be Muslim creatives watching this as well that will relate to some of the things that I say. I will also learn from the things I say, and if there are any things that you guys would like to add to what I'm saying, inshallah ta'ala, we have a comment section for that, so do leave your thoughts down below. So before we do get into the video though, I would just like to say, the subscribe button's still red. Maybe you should click it, inshallah ta'ala. Trying to get to 1K, so Now, there are going to be a few talking points. I'll break this video down into different categories of being a Muslim creative. But before we do get into this video, this sort of ties in with what I'm going to discuss, and that is my content creation agency that I've created with a team called Aswad Media, which you guys may or may not have come across on my social media. So this is the app if you guys do want to check it out, aswad.media on Instagram. This is a content creation agency that I've formed to create content for brands and influencers alike, getting their photography, their videography, and even providing professional freelance models as well to create your content for your brand. Part of Aswad Media is to create content that aligns with Islamic guidelines, in the sense that we can work for anyone, but if anything does go against the Islamic rulings or represents, indecency or haram, that isn't a job that we take, which is a point that will go into this video. Part of Aswad Media is to get everyone involved winning. There's enough food to go around, and we want that everyone sitting at the table that we eat at to be fed properly, if that makes sense, metaphorically speaking. So if you are a brand or an influencer that would like to get their content created for them or would like to work with us, do leave us an email, which will be linked in the description below. Now that's out the way, a bit of self-promotion. Let's get straight into this video, inshallah ta'ala. Now the first thing that I wanted to discuss as a Muslim creative is, as with everything in life, everything starts with Allah. That's in the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you dress, the way you handle business, the way you go about your life. Everything should be in accordance with Quran, Sunnah, and what Allah has obviously stipulated and made clear. And so part of being a Muslim creative, we do also have to factor these things in. A responsibility that we all share as Muslims is to, if we have the knowledge and we are sure about the knowledge, we should then share that knowledge so that it can benefit other people as well. And as a Muslim creative, we hold that responsibility. And when I say Muslim creative, just to be very clear with you guys, Muslim creative can be you being a model. It could be you vlogging your breakfast. It could be you vlogging you going to the gym. It could be you being a cinematographer, a photographer, big time or small time. You could be someone that just prays Quran and posts it on social media. This is what I mean by Muslim creative. Anything that you do that it requires creativity and ideas makes you creative. Whether you're an artist, whether you're a barber, does not matter. This video applies to everyone that is in a creative field of some sort. Back to my point, as Muslims, we need to represent our deen. We need to propagate our deen. And why not do that through the skill sets that Allah has given us? It's the least we could do. If Allah has blessed us with talent, if Allah has blessed us with qualities and skill sets, why not utilize those skill sets to promote His deen, to promote Islam, to propagate deen, to be a form of da'wah? And my mother's always made a dua, and that was, Ya Allah, make my children ambassadors of deen. And that's a dua that as a Muslim and as my mother's son, I would like to fulfill. I was going through a journey not so long ago, is how can I fulfill that dua? How will I be an ambassador of deen? And it clicked. Allah's given me the talent to take videos, to take photos. Why not utilize that skill set to propagate deen on social media? Alhamdulillah, we have a following. I have a following. I'm sure there's a lot of you here who also have a following. Why not utilize your skills to promote and give da'wah to those who are following you, to those who view your work? Be it Muslim or non-Muslim, we have that responsibility. We have that platform. And that's something that every Muslim creative has a responsibility for. If you claim to be Muslim, it's your absolute duty to share the knowledge that you have and to promote good things, to promote righteousness, to promote Islam, to promote other Muslims, to help Muslims. At the end of the day, we need to help each other, because in helping each other, in promoting Islam, in giving da'wah, we unite the ummah, which is a very fundamental thing, especially in today's day and age where the ummah is so disunited. And that comes with media. And I like to say this, media is the language of today. Music and media is today's language. And that is a way to influence people. That is a way to getting into someone's heart. So we as Muslims should perhaps capitalize on that to promote Islamic things, to promote guidelines, to promote other Muslims, to promote Muslim businesses and unite the ummah. And that's a very, very important thing that I've had to understand, and that I understand as a Muslim creative, is we're Muslims first before we're creatives. And that should be factored into our creativity. We have to represent the deen in our work. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And I think that's a very rewarding thing as well. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is, and it's a challenge, this is a challenge, is saying no. to certain jobs. There is huge freedom in saying no. The word no is very, very liberating, especially in this industry. When I first started the videography, photography things, I was kind of taking on different jobs, music videos, thobe shoots, Islamic things, podcasts, documentaries, DJs. I was kind of doing everything. The point I'm trying to make is music is haram, dancing is haram, DJing is haram, jewelry with skulls on it, for example, is haram. Saying no to those jobs is something that I had to do. I had to over time learn to do, because those things do not align with my faith, and that's a challenge. The reason that's a challenge is because there's money in that industry and there's money that will pay you well, but I noticed that the money that I was being paid from jobs like music videos or working for a DJ, it did not give me barakah in my wealth, in my rizq. There was no barakah, because the source of the income came from haram. And this is with anything, whether you're a fraudster, whether you sell drugs, where the root of that money is haram, and you're aware of that, and that money comes to you through your work, it will not benefit your rizq. And that's something that I really want to stress, because people only see the physical side of things. Wow, £3,000 in my bank account, wow. But the barakah in that money will have no worth to you في الدنيا والآخرة, in this life and in the next. And that's something that I learned. Also, doing work for them, doing work for those brands, doing work for music videos, for artists, for rappers, you're helping them promote sin, promote haram, promote indecency, promote swearing, promote symbols that not align with Islam. That's an important factor. As a Muslim creative, if you are someone that's kind of just channeling towards Islamic things only, saying no to that gives you that freedom to then focus on the things that matter, the Islamic things. And I guarantee you, if you leave that fi sabilillah, if you leave that for the sake of Allah, Allah will open doors for you didn't even know would open within the Islamic industry, within the Islamic community. So if you focus on that side, working for Muslim brands, or not even Muslim brands, but brands that do not go against Islamic guidelines, you're fine. The money's halal, the reward is better. You imagine you're promoting Islam, you're promoting Muslim businesses which promote Islam anyway. The reward that comes away and the barakah that comes away will last you. There's more longevity in your wealth, there's more longevity in your work, and work will come, more work will come, more work will come, guaranteed, if done for the sake of Allah, if done with the right intention. And that's something that I really want to stress on, is saying no to the haram, saying no to the jobs that you don't even want to do. And this isn't just halal and haram, it's jobs you don't want to do. If you don't want to photograph food, me personally, I hate photographing food. I don't want to photograph food, but me saying no means I don't have to do that. I don't have to stress myself with that. I can focus on the things that matter. And that no is a very powerful thing. In some way you're limiting yourself, but you're also focusing on something that you can capitalize on. As a Muslim creative and as a creative in general, saying no is a very powerful thing. And saying no, like I said, also creates your niche. There's enough money to go around, there's enough work to go around, and that is something that Allah gives because He sacrificed that. And that's something that I want to stress, that yes, we have the physical aspect of money and whatnot, but then there's the metaphysical side of things, Allah's reward, which we can't see until we actually experience it ourselves, or we see the benefits reaping in this life and in the next, inshallah ta'ala. Another challenge that we face following on from the Islamic niche is, as a Muslim creative, generally your audience is Muslim. You know, it's an Islamic community that you transmit content to. Something that I struggle with is, alhamdulillah, I'm proud that I can be an ambassador for the Islamic community and propagate Islam and whatnot. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful and it's amazing. But there are certain things that I do that are not Islamic related, but they don't go against Islam. For example, when I went to Iceland, taking photos of the sea or the Blue Lagoon or the mountains, taking those photos, because my niche is Islamic and that niche isn't necessarily Islamic, although it doesn't go against Islam, it's not Islamic in that sense, that content will never do as well as me in a thobe, for example, or me posting Islamic content or qira'ah. That won't do as well, but I enjoy that more or as much. But that won't do as well, because for that to do well, you need to use trending audios, or you need to, you know, put music, or you need to do it in a certain way that I wouldn't do because nasheeds won't allow you to do it, if that makes sense. That's a challenge I face, is although I have a niche and I have a very good niche and there's enough money to go around in that niche and work to go around, I do kind of wish that I had another audience, a wider audience that also appreciates that, but won't appreciate that because there's no music or there's no trending audios and whatnot. Alhamdulillah, I'm proud. Like I said, there's enough to go around in whatever department or category and niche you choose to go into. And to be quite fair, since stopping music, alhamdulillah, my Instagram has grown the most. So I'm definitely finding that niche, but part of me does also wish, like, I wish I could grow on that side as well. You know, because as a creative, you don't just do photography. You don't just stick to one thing. You do multiple things, because a creative person will never just do one thing, in my experience anyway. And those different things, you want them to do as well, but sometimes you can't because you're limited to the substitutes of the haram. For example, vocals only, or daf, or like nasheed or qira. And that is a bit of a challenge for me. Although a niche is a good thing, I don't like the idea of being limited to that niche, or that niche only doing well for me. And it goes down to, and I think a lot of people can relate to this, and it's, if for example, I'm not trying to big myself up, but I'm just statistically speaking, if I put on a thobe and I go like this, that's getting loads of views, and that was just a video taken on my phone. But if I take a flight to Iceland, take a pictures of Iceland, edit it a certain way, post it, create the reel to make it look all good, and I post that, but that won't do as well. And the effort, the difference of effort is huge, but the difference of views is even is mad, in the sense that the less effort one will do better and the most effort one will do less. That's kind of demotivating. Obviously we don't do it for the views, we do it for ourselves, but the honest truth is it does factor into our motivation. And that for me is part of the challenge that I face. Is like the things that I really like to do, the things that I put the most effort into will never do as well as the things I do minimal effort in. And maybe that's a good thing, maybe we try too hard, but creativity is subjective. The things that we enjoy, we do end up better in our eyes, but won't end up better in other people's eyes, or isn't as relatable to other people in their eyes. And that's something that I face. But at the same time, is having this niche, having the Islamic community as your niche, it's a good thing. Like I said, you know, when a Muslim helps another Muslim, when a Muslim brand helps another Muslim brand, it keeps the money in the ummah, it keeps the economy in the ummah going, you know, and it creates brotherhood, it creates unity, Muslims working with Muslims. And that's something that we lack, because when Muslims unite, we're strong. United we stand, divided we fall, as the quote goes. When Muslims help Muslims, brotherhood is created, money is shared, and that's a good thing. And you know, it elevates the rank of Muslims. Like, yo, these Muslim creators are doing really well. He's a creative, he's Muslim. Oh, he's a creative, he's Muslim as well. They've worked together. Wow, they've done an amazing job. And that in itself can be a form of da'wah, believe it or not. We as Muslims should be very proud of our religion, but we should also represent the religion in the best manner possible. And what I mean by that is we need to be leaders of society. We need to be examples of society. And we need to present ourselves in the most respectable and beautiful and glamorous way. And when I say glamorous, I don't mean wearing the best of clothes. I mean we need to be decorated, educated people, so that when people look at us, they think, you know what, he's an educated person, he's a good person, he is this person. And being a Muslim creative and showing our work helps that. Be it the way you look, be it the way you dress, be it the way you do your work, be it the way you handle business, anything. We need to represent our Islam. When we as a Muslim community grow, we become a beacon to the outer community, whether they're Muslim or not. And I think that's an important thing. Working with the Muslim community will help grow the Muslim community and big ourselves up, if that makes sense. Now, another thing that I wanted to discuss is intention. As a Muslim creator, I find myself always re-rectifying my intentions when I post something, especially when you're in the Islamic industry where there is a lot of traffic. It's very important that you rectify your intentions, because like I said, I know if I put a thobe on, or if I pray Quran and I post it, it's getting views. I know that. So does that mean now when I post videos of Quran, or me in a thobe, or Islamic da'wah, whatever, I post it to get views? Because a lot of people would think that. But no, I have to, before I post, I have to think, Ya Allah, I'm posting this in hopes that it will promote modesty amongst men, or I'm posting this in hope that the Quran will bring someone close to Islam, or in hopes that da'wah will be given. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of people out there who do it for clout. There's a lot of people out there who post to get views. We need to post and propagate Islam and create content about Islam for the sake of Allah, first and foremost. And that's something that I constantly have to do. In most cases, Islamic videos will blow because it relates to a big audience. It's the fastest growing religion in the world. There are billions of followers who follow our way of life. And for us as creatives, we know that. We know that these things will get views. These things will get a lot of reach. To some people, it will blind you. You know, you're doing it for clout. So it's very important that as a Muslim creative, before you post something or before you even create something, assert your intentions. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. Your actions are according to your intentions, and Allah will judge you based on your intentions. So get your intention right from the get-go. Ya Allah, I'm doing this for you in hopes that such and such thing will happen, in such that this will benefit so-and-so, and in such that I will promote your deen. That's a very important thing, is your niyyah, your intention as a Muslim. Now, to address the elephant in the room, I think it's the biggest part of this conversation, and that's music. As a Muslim creative, where do we stand with music? And the biggest challenge with that is, as I'm sure you guys are aware, with TikTok and Reels and YouTube Shorts and even videos on YouTube. As a creative, I know if I use a certain tune or a certain audio on a video, it's gonna blow. And these audios are indecent audios that have no benefit. Some audios just have music, but I can't use that. As a Muslim creative who follows my faith and my faith says music is haram, I can't use that. And that is a challenge because, like I said, there are certain videos or certain tunes or audios that I know if I use my video would blow. But for the sake of Allah, I will say I can't do that because I will be disobeying Allah. And in disobeying Allah, what do likes mean? What do views mean? What does money mean if I've disobeyed Allah? And that's something that I had to drill in my head in Ramadan this year. I used to use music. I used to listen to music. And astaghfirullah, a'udhu billah, I pray Allah never brings me back to that. That decision of not using music for the sake of Allah and using substitutes such as vocal beats, daf, qira, nasheeds, using that instead to create content, and you know it won't do as well in some cases. Doing that for the sake of Allah is a very, very big challenge. Because let's be honest, as an ummah, we do listen to music. Majority of us anyway, from what I've seen. So to take that leap away from music is a very big leap. But it's a leap that I recommend. Because like I said, I've grown the most since I've left music. And that is because of Allah's barakah, I would say. Pleasing Allah means Allah will please me, in the sense that if we do what Allah has ordained for us to do, has ordered for us to do, in return He will give us success, which He promises, which He guarantees. And I've seen that. I've seen that in leaving music where I thought I'm not going to get as many views, but khair, Allah's fi sabilillah. Allah has opened doors for me within the Islamic industry with substitutes. Still have challenges which I'll get to, but my point is music is something that we need to stay away from. It's something that I try to stay away from because I know it's not good. Music, whether you consume it or whether you transmit it as a creative, is something very important to know. One is, you listening to music is sin on you. That's fine, that's on you, that's between you and Allah. But as a creative using music, people are going to hear it. You being a transmitter of music means that other people are going to listen to it and you'll get that sin, which is more sin for you. Something that we need to understand as Muslim creators is we hold that responsibility, so we need to be very careful with that. Another thing is, just as Quran can make shaitan run away and can expel a jinn from a body, music has a reverse effect. Music invites evil. Music invites shaitan. And I'm speaking from experience. Leaving music gave me space for Quran, and having Quran creates barakah, creates tranquility, creates peace in your life, and I think that's a very, very important thing. The challenge that I face is with music, for example, I'm subscribed to Epidemic Sound, and there's other things out there like Artlist that you can use to get copyright-free content, whereby you pay a monthly subscription and you have unlimited songs copyright-free for you to use within your subscription period. With the Islamic scene, with the substitutes for music, we don't have anything like that, where you can pay a subscription, and I'm talking a cheap subscription, £20 a month, where we have unlimited tracks for nasheeds that we can use copyright-free. And that's a challenge because where we can't use music, we try to seek alternative solutions and we can't. Or we can, but we can't monetize from it. We'll get copyright strikes from it, our videos will be taken down. That's a challenge that I've learned, that I've had to face, is where do I source halal media? Where do I source halal tunes to play in the background of my videos? And we have, and hats off to amazing people like Halal Beats and these non-copyright nasheed channels are out there that do make it a little bit easy for us. But I feel like we're very limited still. And I feel like even those things, they should be copyrighted. They should 100% be copyrighted because that's an artist's worth, that's an artist's work, and they should be paid for that. But where some of these businesses and these artists, they will charge £30–40 per track, which isn't affordable or does not compensate the average person to pay for it just so that they can use it in a video, when you can pay £10 a month for unlimited music and sound effects. That's a challenge that I face all the time, and a lot of Muslim creators face, I know, and that's something that we should try and tackle. We should try and maybe create a website where we can provide copyright-free nasheeds or beats for people at an affordable price, so that we can help promote known music, we can help promote halal beats. I'm not addressing halal beats here. What I mean is just generally halal vocals, halal audios. And if anyone here watching that wants to create that, wants to work on that with me, please do drop me a message or an email and we can get to this, because I think it will be something that is very good. It will help benefit the ummah and help benefit Muslim creatives. The last point that I wanted to talk about was not necessarily us as content creators, but the audience that we create content for, and that's the Muslim audience in particular, and how that in itself is a challenge as well. I think the community, the Islamic community, can be very toxic in the sense that there's a lot of people who consume our content that have a lot to say, and they don't have the right to say what they say. It's best to just give an example. As you guys may or may not know, I model for thobes, and for me as a man, I don't think there's anything more modest than wearing a thobe, in the sense that it covers your body, it covers your physique, it covers your knees, covers your aura, but I'll still be told, brother, you're thirst trapping, or brother, your thobe is too high, or this, that. And for me, it's very silly. Certain things that people say are very silly, and certain things that people say push people away from deen. As a creator, as a Muslim creator, you will find that there are people out there, and there are Muslims out there who will push you away, who will say that what you're doing is wrong when in reality it isn't, because they don't know your intention. And I think that's a very big challenge that we have to face, and it's something that affects you at the start, but with time you come to understand, you come to learn that you just need to ignore it. But sometimes the Muslim audience can be very toxic. I've been told really bad things. I've been told that, who are you to give da'wah if you've got a skin fade? Or you shouldn't be giving da'wah if you're not educated. When Allah's told us, if we have knowledge and we are sure of that knowledge, it becomes our duty to share that knowledge. That means that if we're not alims, we can't spread da'wah, we can't give da'wah. How stupid is that? And that's something that we will face. That is something that I still face, and we will continue to face. It reminds me of a quote from the Quran. I've just got the English translation here, but it says, O people of the book, meaning believers of Allah, believers of one Allah. Why do you turn the believers away from the way of Allah? Why do you turn the believers away from the way of Allah, striving to make it appear crooked while you're witnesses to its truth? And Allah is never unaware of what you do. Believers will push believers away. And I know many people who were Muslim, a'udhu billah, who have left Islam, who are outside the fold of Islam, because Muslims push them away, neglecting the intention. People who call people out for their sins in social media on public, when sins should be addressed privately. These things as a Muslim audience is something that needs to be worked on. But I don't think it's ever going to stop. It's important to know that will happen, and that needs to be ignored. If you know in your heart what you're doing is halal, if you in your heart know what you're doing is right, khair. If you know it's wrong, they might have a point, take it on board and work on it. Don't let them get to you. Like I said, people always have something to say. Even if you're doing the most goodest of things, ignore this. It's a very important thing. People need to understand your intention. As long as your intention is okay and it falls within the Islamic criteria and guidelines, you're fine. Ignore what people have to say, because they don't know you. They don't know your intention. They don't know what was going through your mind when you decided to create a piece or to do something artistic or creative. And it's a challenge. It's affected me personally. We ask Allah for strength. We ask Allah for us to be able to differentiate between halal and haram, and we ask Allah for hidayah, for guidance, and we'll be fine inshallah ta'ala. But yeah guys, that's the end of the video. I appreciate it. It's a very long video, and I hope you finished your dinner by now or your cup of tea. But yeah guys, those are just my takes, my opinions, my experiences on what it's like being a Muslim creative, and I hope that you enjoyed. I hope it gave you some insight. If you are a Muslim creative that has related to this video, do let me know in the comment section below. If there's anything that you'd like to add to what I've said, please do also let me know. Inshallah I can do a part 2, hopefully with someone next to me, so that we can have an actual discussion. And yeah guys, if you enjoyed the video, do leave a like, thumbs up. It's a very easy thing to do. Just gotta click it and share this video with anyone that you think it will benefit, with any Muslim creatives who just wanna listen to something relatable, I'm sure. Then send them through, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It would mean a lot to me, inshallah ta'ala. But yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you benefited. I hope you learned something. It's been a very long session of me talking, so I'm gonna cut it here. Thank you very much once again guys, and inshallah ta'ala I'll see you guys in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.